This is my toolbox. It's an old craftsman set, and I've got a few odds and ends in there as well. Uh, I had it in the truck, pulled it out, had it setting on the bed rail so I could do something, and it fell, and the hinges uh, came apart, and it ended up like this. So I just grabbed it and brought it out and set it here, thinking, hey, live in a desert. What do I need to worry about the tools for? Well, then it got rainy, and I actually just dumped the water out of here. It was still up onto the wrenches. I'm missing two. I don't know where they're at. They're somewhere. So, I'm not going to do it right now. It's too hot. Uh, However, I'm going to have to go through and clean this out. It's amazing how much rust came off these tools, and you'd think that being chrome plated they'd be a little better about not rusting. This one here, the tips for the screwdriver, some of them got really bad. Just one more project I've got to work on. It was something that I didn't have time at the time because I was getting ready to go somewhere, and so I just grabbed it and set it down, and so now I've got to find time to make something of this mess. Even the box itself is full of water. I've actually been letting this drain for quite some time, close to a minute, and I just set it down so I could take a video. Had to dump some of the tools out, but needs to get the water out. Yeah, it's still hot, and I should be doing something else, but I need to get the water out of this. Should be inside where it was cooler, so I can rehydrate after yesterday. Still house sitting, and I figured, well, I'm here, and might as well take the tools in and take advantage of the shower to clean out my tools. I dumped the water out of the top of the box. Now I've got to move the tools and dump the water out of the bottom of the box. I'm gonna have to scrub the rust off. Maybe I can find hey, I just thought of it. I'll put all the tools in a colander. That'll be a good place to put them. Well, I've taken all the tools out. I didn't put the ratchets, and I really liked these lever ratchets. For some reason, they just didn't hold up. Now they have those twist ones, which are a pain. I much prefer the levers, but they don't work. Now let's see about draining. I'm gonna have to time how long that draining took. It's actually still draining, but I'm gonna have to scrub this, so I'm gonna use the shower to do it. I need to get a rag. Just a note, I hate this. Having stuff on my hands that's gritty, oily, slimy, whatever, I don't like it. So I gotta wash my hands so I can wash this. Guess I gotta move the tools out of the sink. At least they're in the colander, so it'll be fairly quick. Gotta love the handheld shower. Well, that's for starters. Now for a rag. This piece, it goes over here to hide the miscellaneous tools. I've got it wiped. There's some that I can't get off right here. But I can hear water inside of it, but I can't figure out how it gets in there. I'm going to set it out of the way and work on the other two parts. I used a rag and then a brush. The top of the box, considering, came pretty clean, and there's dripping again. I couldn't get very well into where the combination wrenches go, so there's still a little there, but for the most part it's pretty good. I'm actually putting this outside with the piece that covers it so it can dry in the desert sun. I've gone after these again with a brush and a rag several times. I'm going to go put it outside with the others, let it drain and dry off, and maybe get a finer brush. Find an old toothbrush or something. I don't have any more old heads for my electric, but I don't think that would work for this anyway. And I think I'm going to take the tools themselves in and scrub them in the kitchen sink and see what I can do to them. It's not my shower, so I did give it a rinse down, wipe down. Don't want to leave it looking all rusty for Mom to come home and find. Even if she's having a hard time seeing, still don't want to have her have a shock. It's obvious I still need to clean the outside of that top part of the box. But I got these setting out in the sun, and I was wondering what I was doing outside to notice this and decide that I had to do it. And then, come to find out, found my coffee cup sitting out here. So that's why I was playing out here. I'm going to sit down and sip some coffee in the shade. And then I'm going to go back inside and see about scrubbing some tools. I woke the old lady up and told her she needed to go outside and do her business. So not only do I have Bella here with me, but I also have Buttercup. I'm going to sit back, have some coffee in the shade, enjoy the little breeze, and just me and the dogs are going to have a moment. Well, the dogs and I spent some time outside, but it's too hot to stay out there. I've moved Mom's dish towel, replaced it with this old rag, cleaned out the sink, and now I'm going to start de-sliming stuff. I think there was something growing inside that toolbox besides iron oxide. This is really slimy. Maybe some algae or some organic something was growing. Fingers. Buttercup's complaining that she's an old lady, so I guess I've got to put her back on the couch. I have done a few tools, still a lot left, but I'll get back to it. Well, I just dumped them all in the sink, and actually what I've found works pretty good is just grabbing a handful and rubbing them together. Use the friction so to rub the rust off. And then I take the stainless steel scrubber and just go over it. I can't get, obviously, inside some of these really small ones, but still definitely better than what it was. Good thing I don't get as exhausted as fast as the batteries do. Set yesterday, set today. I think I'm making too many videos or spending too much time with the camera. I'm not done. I still have some over here that I've just lightly brushed together. But you can see that water, how much rust. It actually looks more to me, but it's a little bit, yeah. I've had wet hands, so keep forgetting to start and stop the video. You can still see I'm going to have to scrub the sink. There's rust in it. And this is what came off that stainless steel scrubber doing that. Did take some wear and tear. Going to have to replace that or catch some grief from Mom. But I'm going to clean up and we'll go from there. Always clean up. I'm really paying for that never say never. Telling Mom I never use her paper towels. In my opinion, this is going to be the easiest way to get this up. There is more metal in the sink from that scrubby. I don't know if you're getting reflections, but there's quite a bit there. And this way I don't have to worry about cleaning it out of whatever I clean. Just dispose of the whole thing. But there's a lot of metal in that sink from scrubbing those tools. A lot of rust too. No metal in the other sink, just a little bit of rusty water in the drainer. But got that cleaned up. You'd never know that I had my toolbox dumped in there. Well, I just put the tools in the dish drainer here. I'm going to let them dry, and then I'll finish scrubbing out the boxes. I'll find an old toothbrush or something to scrub the rust out of it. And then we'll go through the process of putting this all back together. I was thinking about it while I was washing everything. Had plenty of time. I spent about an hour doing it. The reason why I didn't have time to put these back in the box when it happened was I was actually using my truck to take Mom to the hardware, I think Home Depot, and we picked up 12 by 12 pavers, and the tools had been on the front seat of my truck, and I took them out so that she could have a place to ride, and set it on the side of the bed rail while I was moving some other stuff out of the floorboard, and they happened to fall into the bed of the truck, so I just tossed the tools back onto the box, picked it up, took it in, set it on in her yard. So that's why it's here, and why it happened. Oh yeah, I forgot. I still have to do the ratchet and the 13mm deep that I used on the table yesterday. Well, it got to me, so I got out some dish soap and a scrub brush and scrubbed this outside of this top of this box. Mom's home. She brought the rail that my brother had. It's pretty mangled, the top. I may file that a little bit or grind it. We'll see how it goes. It's got torch marks on it. I don't know, but that'll work for I hope for peening those handles. Also, after she got home, I asked her for a toothbrush I could throw away. She came up with one, so I scrubbed what I could on the toolboxes. I'm gonna head back over to her house. Spent the morning moving all my crap out and back to my house. Now I'm gonna head back over to her house because the tools and toolboxes are there. Obviously, I wasn't able to get all the rust residue out. I did a pretty good job. Problem is, still got water and I can't get it to drain. The top of the box drained quite well. So what I'm going to do is cheat and put another hole in somewhere. I think right there. Now let's see if I can get the rest of this water out. Oh yeah, dripping nicely. Okay, it's still hot. I wanted to do this while it was hot. Let that water drip off, let it evaporate a bit before it cools off. I found a box to put my tools in, take them out of Mom's drainer. It's still hot, but I'm going to see about putting the tools back in the box just so I can get this done. Tools for quite a while. You can see I'm missing 4, 6, 9 of the smaller 1/4-inch sockets. I've replaced several of them as well, ones I've lost. I'm not going to reuse these plastic because the rust, I just can't get it out. Well, this is 4 hex keys. This isn't the original Craftsman. They're another cheap set I bought somewhere. I don't know what happened to my original 5/8 spark plug wrench. It's around somewhere, I'm sure, as well as these 2 wrenches. But for now, I've got it put back together. I'll note the time, how long that took to put them back, and gonna call it a night. If you like, thumbs up, subscribe, and feel free to share.